Vice City was created over 20 years ago, and while it's definitely not the biggest and definitely not the most beautiful open world that Rockstar created, something about Vice City just feels right, and the atmosphere is felt from the first moment playing it. And I actually finished GTA Vice City for the first time in my entire life, but the open world was something that I didn't expect from a game this old. So when you obviously play Vice City today, you're going to play the remastered edition, so not the original one from 2002. But there are some things, in my opinion, not even graphical, that just make Vice City feel special. And after playing GTA 3, as I told you, the open world was not something where I was absolutely in awe by it, or my breath was completely gone. In Vice City, it was something completely different. One part of that open world and why it's so great is the atmosphere and the aesthetic. Obviously the game plays in 1986, and this 80s aesthetic actually makes so much. It gives the world so much of a charm, you know, those neon lights, those pastel colors, and the palm trees. Every street really oozes that 80s Miami vibe, that Scarface vibe that we know. And just while roaming through the city and driving with your car, you really feel like you're in the 80s in Miami. Obviously it's inspired by movies like Scarface or Miami Vice, and the pop culture really blends into every single block of the game. And listen, the open world is not big. Obviously today we look at open worlds and immediately everyone asks, how big is it? When it's small, nobody cares. But this is dense and memorable. This is small but packed. Don't understand it wrong, please. That's what she said. But every neighborhood feels different, kind of. You know, you got downtown, you got Little Havana, Starfish Island, and all of those areas are completely different from one another. It's not like in GTA 3, for example, where you do have those minor differences, but it doesn't really have a completely different vibe to it. But when you're driving in downtown of Vice City or near the Malibu Club, it's a completely different feeling than when you're driving through Little Havana, for example. And I gotta say, this map is really easy to learn and navigate. Because it is so small, it gives you kind of this sense that it's your world and you know where to go. When some NPC or something would tell me, yeah, you need to go to this place or to that place, I didn't even need to open the map. I drove there myself because you know where those places are and they are so memorable to you, which is a great thing. And then there are the landmarks like the Malibu Club, the Diaz Mansion, and the strip clubs obviously, or the hotels that create those visual anchors that make this map so memorable and so enjoyable while driving around. And I really love the fact that Rockstar really put vibe and immersion over size here. Unlike most modern maps that really go for size, Vice City kind of focuses on style and tone, on giving you this 80s Miami vibe to it without actually creating this gigantic open world, but putting nothing in it. And even without tons of interiors or activities, the world still feels alive. Obviously there are some malls or shops where you can go into, but most of the buildings obviously you cannot go into. But still, that didn't really matter in my opinion. A thing that did matter though was the soundtrack. Now listen, obviously you know and we know that the game doesn't have a soundtrack, so some scenes you really think to yourself, okay, now a soundtrack would be great. The only thing that it has are those radio stations, and those really make an incredible difference in my opinion, because every radio station helps you define the mood of the city. You know, you got Flash FM, for example, or Emotion that really give you those songs from the 80s that doesn't give you some songs that you haven't heard yet. It gives you ABBA, it gives you Michael Jackson, songs that we all know. And driving through Vice City with a fast car and Billie Jean or Out of Touch going in the background, that's a completely different vibe. And I really love it how the open world supports the story. Obviously the rise of our protagonist Tommy Vercetti is tied directly to the city. He kind of starts at the bottom and then ends up owning parts of the map, like the Malibu clubs, the print works, locations that we have been to before and know how important they are in the end our own. And you obviously know that Vice City is now being made into GTA 6, so next year we will have a completely different type of Vice City, definitely way bigger, It will be a completely different size. It will not even be recognizable probably. We obviously do know what the map will look like. It will include other parts of Florida that we obviously didn't have in Vice City, in GTA Vice City, because that only featured the city of the game. But I'm looking forward. Will there be the same attractions? Will there be the same clubs, the same things that we'll be able to buy? The Tommy Vercetti mansion probably. Or will they try to create something rather different? I think it will be kind of a mix that, on one hand, because they obviously create completely other places also next to Vice City, but I think they'll actually include a lot from this game and put that into GTA 6. You know, things like the Malibu Club, for example, or also the Diaz Mansion. I think stuff like that was very very beloved by all gamers that have played the game. And I think they will include that. I don't know how it will be with all the cultural differences, because that was something that I loved in Vice City, that one district felt completely different than the other. We'll see how they will figure that out, if they will do that again with, Little Havana feeling completely different than the region around the Malibu Club, for example, or Washington Beach. But that will be one thing that we'll have to see for ourselves next year. I just hope that they really have this culture that it had in Vice City 20 years ago, that they will have that as well in GTA 6, that will obviously come out next year. But still, this foundation that Vice City laid in GTA Vice City from over 20 years ago now was incredible. And for someone like me who has played a lot of older games, even though it is remastered, the vibe of this game and of this open world was something completely different, and especially compared to GTA 3, in a completely other league. But I played and will review the game GTA Vice City, and if it's worth it, in 2025 soon. So if you want the full review of the game, feel free to subscribe. I'm now playing San Andreas and we'll finish that one too. So all of the GTA games will be played and reviewed, so you know which ones are actually worth your time before GTA 6 comes out next year. But tell me your opinions about GTA Vice City. Do you have the similar opinions on the open world, and are you such a great or huge fan of it like I am? I mean, it's gonna be hard to top that open world in my opinion. If I can say one thing about San Andreas, even though I love the game, I don't think the open world will beat Vice City for me. And I'm just so excited for next year, man, to explore this map in 2026 with modern graphics, obviously a bigger size, but what I mentioned in the video, a bigger size but also quality, not just quantity over quality, but that they have both in it. And obviously Rockstar is now in a completely different state than it was over 20 years ago, that's for sure. And so they will be able to create a phenomenal Vice City. Obviously they will add probably a shit ton to the map, but they have this foundation of GTA Vice City from 2002. So I'm very looking forward to the open world of next year's GTA 6. Alright guys, that was it from me in today's video. I wish you all an amazing day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.